Hello, this is Gerald Overmars. Every letter in the word directs you into a certain choice that you make. And these choices, they are not too many. It's always a choice of three options. Like you have lower tones, middle tones, higher tones. It's the same way as you have also three kinds of reflections towards it, into 1 point, 2 points, or 3 points, into a center point, into a moving point, or into, 1, 2, 3 context actually, that we try to figure out where we can find an application. These 1, 2, 3 choices are the basic tools for the letters, and also for a system how these can be organized, and how we can also learn it more quickly, to recognize it more quickly, more consciously, because at this point letters for us seems to be randomly chosen, but they are not. They are really fitting well with what they express, and I will give you more and more examples. And this video will show you the word mask. And even if a word like mass is something completely different, but by simply changing one letter, you can see how this focus changes and gives another emphasis. And this emphasis is enough to realize actually the right position. We do that unconsciously, but we can do that very consciously as well. And we will do that with this word, where the three categories are already visible at right in resume. So the first category in one focus, the three-dimensional space; in two focuses, the time-related ideas; and then the 1, 2, 3 option as the time-space contextual applications that you still have to figure out how they are. These three kinds of thinking are related with certain letters. They have a certain position, have a fixed position. So where is the M actually? So if we have the M is from the first category. It's at the borders. It's in the 1, 2, 3. It's in the 3 option. So there are also 3 points where we focus upon, and we try to focus that idea into just one position at the border. So that's actually enough. So we have here space and sensitivity towards space, because it's also into towards 1 point of focus. We also have very quickly the idea that we are focusing upon the things that are materializing itself physically. So the M focus is exactly what I have here. If I have vibrations, it's these vibrations at the borders, and into 1, 2, 3 points, for in which 1 point will be taken out as the most dominant one. So this is actually the M association focus that you can see presented here. It receives an addition of the A, which means that now I'm going to centralize it. I'm going to centralize it, or see it from a center. You can see as well the M. Let's keep it on the same place, but let's enlarge this A a bit, because then I can still focus upon the M, and I can have the 1, 2, 3 points together. So I'm more have the feeling like something is growing from inside. Something is enlarging from inside, but I'm still focusing upon the surface where it is growing out, where it is growing towards that surface. So that's ma at that point. And maybe it could be confusing for some that I have this ATK ULB CMX in these positions, but actually the starting points focus, because we have a focus in the middle, they also start in the middle. So the ATK starts from the middle, ULB around it, and CMX at the border. So that's more or less the way how you should associate the expressions, and I will later tell you why the positions in this scheme are a bit different as I present them there, and it's only because we have this middle focus there that ATK best starts with your expression from the middle. So here's the A and the M. The M is your first initial focus, in which A actually confirms it again from its center. The S to it is from the last category. The S is also the biggest, if it's in waves, the biggest wave that you can have, the vibrations at the outside. That's why I often associate it with the effect that things have. It's the end effect that things have. It's that there is the S form. You sense it at the it's expressed at the outside, but you still sense it more often towards somewhere inside it. So in a way, you understand sense with the double S here. You sense it, what is actually bigger than what you can immediately describe in fixed values. You cannot have fixed values there, but you can sense it. You can sense all its variations. That's the S. So here we have M, A, and S. With a double S, it even is more focusing upon, what do we really express? It's not just only the outside biggest effect that you can have. You can have to sense it, of course. Where do you sense it? You sense it in where we start. The M, the enlargement of the body, let's say, which with the A even gets more sense that it is from a center a growing part, in which what we sense there is, of course, its capacity to grow and to extend its full range, actually, then, because of the S, its full range of capacity and extending of M, which is associated, as I told you, not just in space, but also with an association of physicality. So it is the enlarging of physicality of how we sense it, that it is truly enlarging. And that's the mass, that's the full mass here. And how is it possible that we leave out the one of the S's but come to mask? Why is it so different? I will express that as well. But first, maybe let's focus again on these positions that I have here, because I told you something about it, that in my scheme the positions are ATK, ULB, CMX. But once we focus upon the one center point, the order seems to be slightly different as in the scheme. But that's because we have we can compare actually also we have here the three zones, which are the same for all three levels. The three zones are comparable to a formation process from the start. So we have a starting point where you have A as a starting point. You have an enlargement as the wave itself which comes out, which then is the T as a position, the L as a growing part, and the M as the maximizing of that. And last point, the K, is then that breaking point, or the ending and so on. Like you have X and B there, which are there at the borders, at the ending, where X is almost no longer part of this whole area of waves, let's say. But because A is a starting point, you have that as a wave as well. And because we focus into a middle point, we also can see A from the middle out and towards the border. So then you have the waves that grow from the center to the outside. And so you have this outside M and in the end, if you see it from a circle. So you have the start, the building up, and the ending, and then the three levels also. So you have a center point or center starting point in A. You have a body which grows, which is all into the second level, and you have the borders which are reached at the last three letters C, M, and X. because it's at the edge of what we can do. The M is also, if you can enlarge it also a little bit, that you have a more focus even to the waves that are growing. If they're growing too much like the M, you will even have an overflow here as well. This is all about outer extension. So if you come to almost the overflow and you come also to the K at the end, then you also end it sooner. So, and then you have this wave which will break like the K. They will break also sooner. And that's already one of the elements that is very important to understand. The letter K, which is one of the first center focuses when you're at the edges, when you're at the end, it will break its rhythm. It will break its system-based wave actually there. So you have to be careful there with the K, what to do there next, because here the wave is at the end, and with and in the word it's usually also where it breaks its pattern. So what will be done then? It's the breaking of the waves. It will be visible in that effect at the end as well. So you will not have the full effect then as well. You have, if you want to express this S as a wave at the outside effect, this outside effect will also follow actually the rules of that. The end effect should break with the middle, with the pattern. And the effect in the end will be a kind of breaking off. So when you have that waves of M, and it will have the effect towards the outside world, let's say, which you have in ES, the end effect or the last letter will express actually a form of breaking off of the middle. It is that shadowy effect as well. This mask is just a mask only. It is that mask that expresses something from the inside, but it's also a part that will easily break off, and the end letter of K will emphasize that there's some of effect that will break off from the middle, from all what is growing, which is extending from inside. There is a part of it which will also, to a part, will be able to break off from the centralized focus, and will have that outside effect as a mask in a way. So you can understand why the K is used in this word, how it can be used, what can be associated from there, and how you can understand mask in many of its associations. So I hope these two words were clarified a little bit from the letters' positions, and I hope you enjoyed this video. Enjoy the Facebook page if you want. Also subscribe to the YouTube channel if you like. There's a website too where you have previous videos listed alphabetically, and you have some books to prepare you. The books are really meant more like, okay, give it a go in Channeling of the Seasons, almost intuitively with a system. You just follow the system without even comprehending it at that point. The other book, Sound Informed, which is also in two parts, is more a preparation of what can I do by following the logic. What is this logic telling me? And the second part of that book, which is separately as a development of the word, is the past. What did we associate with letters in the past? What kind of a system exist with letters and so on? And how does it, how can we compare it to what I found as is its own logic based upon this numerical order as well, an order which is also geometrically available as a system if you like. Anyhow, thanks again for watching. Bye.